welcome to PlayPSVR2, the podcast. Mon. I'm your host, Adam. Mon. Thanks for joining us tonight. Mon. That's right, Jamaican me crazy. It is me, Adam. I am host right here, right now. The thing is, after last week, I was forced to hang out with Alex. Just one of multiple services that his mother paid for, but I had to hang out with him. That's the deal I have with his family, and it was all right, but it's like a bad VR game, right? You can tolerate it for a little bit, but at some point you need to take a break, and that's where I was at, and I was like, I gotta get away from this dude, but I don't want to stop making this fresh, steamy content for you, and that is why I am back. We are back. PlayPSVR2, the podcast, is back, and I want to start us off hot and heavy with a tweet that I found that this has been laying on my chest for a long time, and has bothered me, and I haven't found the right opportunity to bring it up, and this is it. It's my show. I'm running it. You have no backdoor assistance. You don't have another person to listen to. There are no other opinions. I am the ruler. It's my way or the highway, and if you don't like it, you can turn this off. But don't do that, of course. So here we go. I don't know who Mario and Lisa are. They're, I guess, from the UK. Out of Africa DVD. Is she an actress? I don't know. That's not the important part. The tweet here is, speaking of Lisa, she also split from husband Mario and struggled with depression and comfort eating, battling a pork sausage addiction that saw her eating up to 50 bangers a day. Am I laughing at this because of the word bangers? Absolutely. Do I think depression and comfort eating is funny? No. But eating 50 bangers a day. First of all, every time I've ever had a sausage link, I think it's going to be really good. And I'm like, cool, I'll cut it up and put it in my egg biscuit, or I'll just eat it on its own. I bought the organic stuff. I bought the spice stuff. I bought the pork. I bought the turkey. I've tried all type of pork sausages. They're just bad. None of them are good. They're pretty filling, but none of them are very good. Yet she ate 50 bangers a day. Imagine 50 bangers in your mouth. That's incredible. I can't even imagine that. But I laughed at that so hard the first time I saw it. I had to share it. I had to get it off my chest. That's a banger of a tweet right there, if you see what I did. So here's the thing. It's Halloween season. I wanted to go in, and I told Alex, I was like, it is time. I'm going to open up the wallet. I'm going to let the funds flow, and I'm going to buy me some horror PSVR2 games, because nothing resembles a virtual reality horror game in the entire genre. Nothing is as good as that. It is October. This is what I've been waiting for. It's jack-o'-lanterns. It's scary movies. It's dressing up. It's horror. It's scary. It's freaky. It's perfect. So I go on the PlayStation Store, and I'm telling you, I'm about ready to drop $100. Dead serious. I was going to be like, I saved up. I'm going to spend $100 on these games. I'm going to have a great time playing some horror games. I go in there, and what an absolute disappointment. There are hardly any horror games on the PSVR2, and the ones that are there, in my opinion, are absolute trash, or they are horribly average. But the real problem is there aren't many of them at all. I don't understand. PSVR 1, there were so many horror games to the point where people, I remember, were complaining, yo, stop. There's too many horror games. Make another genre. Which, okay, I get that. I like horror games. I was okay with it, but I understand that complaint. How is it we went from that on the PSVR 1 to borderline not having anything on the PSVR 2? Is there Resident Evil 8? Of course. Is it the darling of the PSVR 2? Of course it is. I've already played it. It's already at least an older game, which I don't care about. Brand new experience in VR. But we need more than just Resident Evil 8. And here's the thing. There are no freaking horror games. And to prove that, also, I have to admit, I have been really busy lately. Haven't been keeping up with the news. Haven't been keeping up with the releases. So I am going to jump into the PSVR2 library, talk about the games that exist, don't exist, and then just show you. There's no freaking horror games on here, but also maybe very quickly touch on some games I didn't know existed. Most of them look pretty bad, but let's go game by game in the PSVR2 library. Let's do that right now. All right, so I'm here at the PlayStation Store. I'm going to go game by game. Not going to spend a ton of time on these. We've talked about a lot of them. Gran Turismo 7. Well, first of all, there are 124 PSVR2 games. So that's quite a bit. Again, I think a lot of these are going to be probably PSVR games that are ports or games that maybe aren't too good in general. But let's just take a look. Gran Turismo 7. I'm actually right here. What I want to do, we talk about how there aren't many games, and I'm going to talk about this in the future too here very soon. Let's look at just PSVR, because I feel like I didn't have an issue with the number of games on PSVR, right? Oh man, I suck. Why can't I'm sucking here. PSVR. So the PSVR in its entire lifespan had 458 games on the PlayStation Store. So now I'm going to look at, I've already mentioned, 124 games here on the PSVR 2. So again, let's go game by game. So I'm going to go up here, take that off. Gran Turismo 7, great game. No Man's Sky, you got it. The port, they keep adding to it. Beat Saber, obviously. Here's Project Wingman. Now, this is what Alex and I talked about last week. This kind of homegrown Ace Combat kind of clone. $30. And I do like it. Look, there's trigger effects. There's headset vibration. I haven't played this. Something I think that seems intriguing. I didn't like Ace Combat. That's why I'm not going to play this. If I liked Ace Combat, it would definitely be a play. So if you did, I would focus Project Wingman, $30. I'm not logged in. Maybe if you're a PlayStation Plus member, it's a little cheaper. But like I said, I'm not logged in, so I can't see the real price. So, Resident Evil Village, clearly, Crossfire. Why can't I say that? Crossfire Sierra Squad. I hate that. Pavlov. Here's Angry Birds, Iowa Pigs. I mean, why even port that? Seriously, why? I don't even understand. Horizon, Job Simulator, Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Chapter 2. Creed, Rise to Glory. Alex has talked about that, as well as Red Matter 2. I played Red Matter for the PSVR. I'm not going to play it again for PSVR 2. Vegas Infinite, which I feel like they changed that name. That's the poker game. A fun game, definitely free, worth a shot. Walkabout obviously is a staple. Tetris Effect, complete and utter garbage. Switchback VR, complete and utter garbage. Star Wars Galaxy Edge, I've heard good things. I don't like Star Wars, so I don't really care. Saints and Sinners, I played it. I didn't like it. I like some of the stuff they did, but I just wasn't a fan. Like the gameplay, not the setting, not the resolution, nothing like that. Just the gameplay of it, I didn't like. Synapse is a game. Clutch, this is a game that I am going to buy. I am going to play. Alex loves it. I believe it's still full price, $35. I mean, I'm not going to pay. I've waited long enough. I'm not going to pay full price. So, waiting for that to go down. Waltz of the Wizard. Now, this is a game that we've seen previews for and it looked pretty good from what I could tell. To end this page is Swordsman VR and then Ghostbusters. Not really interested in Ghostbusters either. So, Waltz of the Wizard, going back to there, that is $30. When did this come out? Surely there's a release date. So this came out just last week on the 3rd. And so experience magical powers, use VR, cutting edge voice acting, voice interaction, eye tracking. You go in mysterious worlds, boiling a cauldron. I guess you make almost looks like a cocktail simulator, but check that out. Came out on the 3rd, so I'm not familiar with that game. I'm not familiar with your game, as Shaq would say. Hellsweeper VR, obviously, you know, has good reputation. Nothing new there. Alex was a fan of that one, was ready to buy it. I have not purchased it, and I don't think either of us have played it. Synth Riders, good. Ghost Signal. So I remember hearing Ghost Signal, but I haven't looked, so I'm going to take a little deeper dive here on the page. Pistol Whipped, Firewall, or After the Fall, Firewall, garbage. After the Fall, not great. Wave Shooter, not good. Ghost Signal, Fast Travel Games, I like them. Only $20 for the game. That's not too bad. Let's see. A roguelite set in Stellaris universe. Captain your ship for alien species. So, I mean, roguelite could be good. I'm going to have to see the trailer for that. Could also just be a wave shooter and be very boring, but something to check in on. When did that come out? Let me take a little gander, because I do not remember. That came out on the 5th, so also last week. So that's a new game. That's one I might actually go buy. I talked about me not finding games. I missed that one. Maybe I'll go buy that one. Vacation Simulator, garbage. Kayak VR looks really good. Minimal playback. Greenhouse VR, garbage. Trip, a new way to meditate. I looked at this, a little sketch. The fact you got to pay for this is just garbage. At least that much. I'm not buying that. Paper Beast, not really interested. I could see why you would be. Something to consider. The Room VR, garbage. Gazzlers, garbage. Drums Rock, okay. Hubris, not too bad. Hello Neighbor, garbage. Pixel Rip 1995, good. The Foglands is something that definitely I would consider there. Looked really good on the trailers. I'm not familiar with Well Told Entertainment. You can get this for $32 if you have PlayStation Plus, and you explore the Foglands. Bar fight action, Mysterious Tales, another 3D roguelike shooter. So something maybe consider. The Gorn, I didn't really like Gorn, not huge. I did buy that. No. Very Bad Dreams, Do Not Fall into Darkness. This ticked me off. This is the perfect game. This is exactly what I wanted when I logged on to buy scary games, but it's freaking pre-order. It's not out yet. Still's got like 13 days to go. Very disappointing, because I was ready to play that hard. But hopefully that looks like a tremendous game. Can't wait to play it. Moss Book 2, no. Ruins Magus complete. I don't know much about it. I'm skipping it. Doesn't look or sound great. Zenith, yeah. People do like Alvo, but again, how many shooters can we really have? I have everything I need with Pavlov and Crossfire Sierra Squad. Moss, no. Survive, nah. Crisis Brigade 2, Alex is going to review that. He hasn't, just hasn't played it yet. I'll see what he says. Cosmonius High, no thanks. Transformers, I know Alex likes it. No thanks. Light Brigade does have me interested here. I do want it on a sale, though. Probably. I've waited long enough. A pretty heavy sale. So it's $25. I mean, it's not expensive to begin with, but if I'm going to hop in, I'm going to want it half price. Then I'll buy it. Human Anatomy VR. Who's going to use that? Puzzling Places, very underrated. Good game. Body Combat, the freaking headset is uncomfortable as is. Could you imagine working out in it? No freaking thanks. Budget Cut, also no thanks. Vampire, The Masquerade. So this is a game I don't know anything about, so let's hop in here. I don't know when this released. I'd never heard of this. Another Fast Travel Games, $27. Let's see, it releases in early November. That's why. This is a pre-order. That's why I haven't heard of this. We'll cover that later. I'm not going to spend time on games that aren't even coming out yet. So that is, something intriguing there. Where am I? We've got Jurassic World Aftermath. No thanks. Demio. Crap. Townsman VR. I need to try I like the idea of this, but I do need to try the trial. There's a trial, so do that first. Humanity, great game. Ragnarok, garbage. Thumper, very good. But again, an old game. Operation Wolf Returns. I don't know what that is. Let's check that out. Sea Smash, great game. Fisherman's Tale, a good play. Obviously, don't play it again on PSVR2, but if you haven't played it, probably worth it. Res Infinite, fantastic. Toss, garbage. Cities VR, still waiting on that guy as well to tell me if it's good or not. Kazuda AI, Touch the Beat. Alex would like it. I would not. I'm not into little girls. $30 for this Operation Wolf Returns first mission. A iconic action rail shooter. That's all you needed to say. No thanks. No rail shooters for me. I have gotten accustomed to the free world, and I want more of it. Moving on, VR Skater, great game. Zombieland Headshot, no, seems like a phone game, not playing it. I know Alex likes it, no thanks. Bulletstorm VR, all right. Dyschronia, Alex had issues with it. I'm not willing to take that risk. Afterlife VR, one of the horror games on the PSVR2, pretty good. But again, it's probably because there's no horror games, so the bar is low to actually surprise me. But not a bad game, maybe worth playing. Unplugged Air Guitar, intriguing. I need it to be on sale though. Another Fisherman's Tale. What the Bat? Not interested. Pixel Rip 1978. Again, old game. I'm not gonna play it again. Until You Fall. No thanks. 2MD VR Football. Probably not, let's be honest. Break Stuff VR, I think, is intriguing, but I just don't see much replay value. Or after you play an hour, am I going to want to keep playing that? No, that's why I haven't bought it. Altair Breaker looks too generic for me. Garden of the Sea, Alex loves it. It's just too cutesy for me. At some point, I should probably play it. Down and Out. Now, I've never heard of this game. I don't know what that is. Let me load that up. Cosmo Dread it's okay. It's another roguelike. There's not much explanation. You could tell only one person made it. It's hard for me to recommend it. Cave Digger 2, okay, but a little boring. Song in the Smoke, very good. Before Your Eyes, good. Last Clockwinder, Alex played. He did a stream of it. Seemed like if you like puzzle games, it might be all right. Not really up my alley, but something to consider. Star Tender, no thank you. Runner, very good game. Knock, garbage. Tentacular, too folksy. Okay, going back to Down and Out. So $15 right here. And this is Preparing for the Fight of Your Life. First-person brawler where you take the mean streets as a wandering fighter. So this is that thing that kind of looked like the bar fight VR in PSVR, but now you're in the streets. I mean, $15 isn't too bad. It looked a little janky from what I remember on the review. Look, it does have the controller vibration and trigger effects and play sitting or standing. You can play offline, so you don't need multiplayer. This seems like a game that might be okay for like an hour or two and be like kind of entertaining, but I want more. Math World VR garbage. I mean, I've never heard of that game. I'm not going to play it. I don't know when it came out, but let's be honest, we're not children. Garbage. Tale of Onogoro, haven't heard anything about it. Been out for a while, no thanks. Galaxy Kart, garbage. Fantavision 2020X. Alex is going to play it. I'm waiting to hear what he says. I think he did buy it, but you know how it goes. Awesome Asteroids, no thanks. Cave Digger, no. Broken Edge, I don't know what that is, so let me pull that up. Last Labyrinth, Alex will probably cry. Behind the Frame, so I did look at this a little bit. I'm going to pull this up for you. It's a game that came out. I didn't know about it. Intriguing, but I think I'm going to have to pass. Organ Quarter, awesome name. Really good art, but I don't know. Seeker in My Shadow is, all right. I mean, it's not bad, but again, Is it something I can recommend to everybody? No. Blink in the Vacuum of Space. No idea what that is. Let's pull that up. Across the Valley is that stinking farm game. No thanks. Brain Beats. No thanks. Another Super Death Game Show. I saw this. It looked kind of intriguing, but it looks maybe a little too gimmicky for me, so I think I'm going to pass. VR Pigeon, stupid, kind of funny, but like in a stupid way. Rhythm Planet, no thanks. We have enough of those. You Calligrapher, this is intriguing. I saw this as well. I passed on it, but only, well, I'll show you why. I'm going to pull that up for you. The Last Worker, Alex played this. Looked real dumb. No thanks. B99 Overclock. Don't remember. I did look at this when I was in the store. I've already forgotten about it. It's probably all you need to know. I'll pull it up for you anyhow. Travel the Words, garbage. Masternoid. Yeah, it looked very like just like well, I'll open it up for you. Border Bots VR. It's just been announced. The Cactus Cowboy Desert Warfare has just been announced. Now, Cactus Cowboy Plants at War, garbage. Propagation Paradise Hotel has been announced. The 7th Guest VR has been announced. Tennis on Court has been announced. So now let's go back to some of those games that I wanted to bring up. So Masternoid is a free trial. It's $15. This, oh, that's right. This is that game that Alex was kind of mentioned a couple episodes ago about how I forgot what game it resembled, but no thanks. B99 Overclocked, $15 from Iron Stomach LLC is all it says. It's a first-person shooter roguelike set in a vision of cyberspace pulled from the 1980s. Dungeons are randomly generated each playthrough. If you put that little of effort into your description, I have a hard time feeling like this is going to be very good. There's only sense controller vibration. I don't see head vibration. I don't see any other haptics. No thanks. That's not going to be that great of a game. You Calligrapher, only $10. Again, it's a simulator where you kind of do calligraphy, but a lot of it looks like it's in Japanese or Chinese. I don't know. I'm not going to do this. It does have room scale, which is intriguing. Like, why? I don't know. Blink in the Vacuum of Space is $25. It has all the good stuff with the PSVR. And it's a space adventure designed with autistic players in mind. Now, that's intriguing. So let's see. Creatures have escaped. They're causing chaos. You have to use your vacuum and catch them all to bring them back to the lab. Interesting. Okay. I don't know. This came out on the 10th. It came out yesterday, so that's why I haven't heard of this. I don't know. It doesn't sound like something I would really want to play, if I'm being honest. So Behind the Frame, the Finest Scenery VR is $20. This came out last month, and it is a fiction about an aspiring artist. So it almost reminds me of Before Your Eyes in a little bit, but it doesn't have that gimmick with you closing your eyes. This, $20, I don't know, $10, I might pull the trigger if I'm feeling like a game where you would do and really be involved in the plot. Broken Edge, no idea what this is. It has all the good stuff. Head rumble, sense controller haptics. It's a sword fighting game where you are a warrior, claim victory in an arena in a bunch of different options. A samurai, knight, one of the other fighters. I would have to look at this. It might be okay. It could just be an average sword fighter game. I'm sick of sword fighter games. Give me some more horror games. So that is all of the games on the PSVR2 library. Again, there were what? Maybe 3 or 4 horror games, maybe, and even a lot of those are like these Green Hell VR is supposed to be horror, but it's really not. It's like suspense horror. I want straight horror games. That right there, folks, is your PSVR2 library. All right, I'm back. Come on. So truly, I think That's the thing. People are like, there are a lot of games. There are on the PSVR2. I'm going to get to it in a minute. One thing I have almost missed, which would have been, I still can't believe, I feel like I should take a bean just for being this late, my gamer juice. So this is a carbonated Ramune drink. Ramune, I don't know how you say it. I think I have had one of these on the podcast way back. I got it from Jungle Gyms, and I'm an idiot. I should have, there's a little glass marble on top, and you have to push that puppy down, and then you can drink it. And I should have popped it live. Should have popped that cherry live, but I didn't. And it's, it is what it is. Anyhow, there are many different flavors of these. So the ones I had in the past, or the one I did, I remember it was green. I don't know if it was lemon lime. This is original flavor. So what that means, I have, I just tasted it. It just seems like, it's sugary. It tastes good. Only 16 grams of sugar. It's actually not awful compared to some of the crap we drink nowadays. It's not cream soda, but it's not just sugar water either. I don't know what it is. I don't know how to, it's nothing special. It's not like a unique taste that I've never tasted and I don't know how to explain it. It's like average. I don't know, man. It just tastes kind of like a soda. I don't know. It's weird. It is very good. And then, you get your little toy. The other thing I like about it is when you drink it, the little glass ball goes up to the hole, and it prevents me from chugging the entire drink because I'm a chugger. Everyone, you go to the YMCA and they're like, "Oh, Terry, he's a chucker." I'm not a chucker, I'm a chugger. And so I chug big time, and this prevents me from chugging because the ball gets in the hole, I'm unable to get that liquid, and so I can't chug it. But I get a little taste. I like it. So, here's the thing. I'm back, and the things I need to get off my chest. Things I don't care about, okay? There's a lot going on in this world. There's a lot about it. I don't care, okay? I don't care, and I gotta get it off my chest. Now, these aren't things that I'm, super, they're not airing of grievances. They're not things I'm super bent out of shape about, but things people keep bringing up to me, and both Shafe Dog, people on email, friends, just natural things I've seen out in the wild that I don't care about, and I need to get off my chest. Very first thing, the PS5 Slim. I already have a PS5. I've already spent that cheddar on this new console. I don't want a PS5 Slim. I keep seeing polls. I keep getting asked, are you going to get the Slim? No, I don't care about the Slim. The Slim doesn't do anything for me. It's not going to make my VR better. My PS5's already running well. I already paid $500-$600 for this stupid thing. I'm not buying it. Quit asking me. I think it's stupid they even come out with it. The PS5 Pro, okay, that makes a little more sense. It's going to enhance the graphics. It's going to run better. Games like Final Fantasy 16 and Horizon and soon to be Final Fantasy 7 that have tons of data, tons of resolution, tons going on. That makes sense. You need the upgraded power. I will consider a PS5 Pro. I will not consider a PS5 Slim. Quit making them. I don't care. I don't think most people care unless there's a huge price drop. I don't even know what the price is because guess what? I don't care. Speaking of what else I'm not going to buy and what else I don't care about, the Quest 3. I'm not buying it. I don't care. Quit emailing me. Quit sending me messages. Quit people asking. I don't care. I'm not buying it. from the reviews, from what I have read, and please correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I am. I don't think it's going to matter, but I could be wrong. Please let me know. I'm sure a lot of you listening are dual VR consoleists. I don't have the time, I don't have the need, and I don't want to. Here's the thing with the Quest 3. From what I have seen, the resolution isn't better than the PSVR2. The haptics aren't better than the PSVR2. The games are as good or identical to what I can play on the PSVR2. So why buy it? Why do I need it? I will admit, I've always wanted wireless VR. I think the PSVR2 should have a wireless version. That I'm still a little jealous of, but that's not a defining quality of the Quest 3. I'll go get a normal Quest. Who gives a crap? It's wireless. Now, the only thing that I've seen in the past few days on people raving and talking about the freaking Quest 3, I hate Facebook. I hate Meta. It is so stupid. F you. And I don't even know if it's a company I dislike. I dislike all these people. Something new comes out, and I just get barraged with freaking review videos and thoughts and tweets. And again, I know we're part of the VR community, but I don't care. So I saw this video of a dude outside in the park playing a game where he was battling an ox with a sword, and he was actually running around in the headset. He could see the world, and then the little guy, the ox, was, I guess you would call that AR, and he was in the wild running after him. And so the guy in the park was actually running between trees, ran up, hit the ox, physically ran back to avoid his attacks. I'll admit, that's pretty cool. The game itself looked like a kid's version of Zelda. Not something I'm interested in. If they come out with new games that look better, like PSVR2 graphics, haptics, and resolution, and like a more adult-styled game, but then use that technology, now you might have me on something. But the way it is right now, I don't care. I will admit that is cool, and a lot of people are like, oh, but the AR is so neat. Okay, I've played Pokemon Go. I've seen AR. I don't care. And I'm going to be honest, and I'm not proud to say this, I realize that I am an adult. I am unequivocally myself. I like the hobbies that I like, and I should be proud of them, But I cannot see me wearing a Quest 3, going out to a public park and running around like an absolute moron, playing these AR games, swiping at oxen, and while everyone else is looking at me like, what the F is that guy's problem? He's an idiot. I can't do it. I can't. I don't know if it's pride. I don't know if it's the social pressure. I wouldn't do that. So although I admit that technology is cool, in my current situation, I would have to go to a park because I don't have a yard. And so I just, even though it's cool, I wouldn't even do it if I had a Quest 3. Maybe if I went out into the frickin' boondocks and maybe I could find somewhere that no one's going to see me, but then it's too much. I'm not doing it. Quit asking. I'm not buying a Quest 3. If you want to play with me, get the freaking compatible games. Let's play Crossfire, cross compatibility. Play it on your freaking Quest. You can talk about how much your head hurts and how much, you're wireless, but the resolution isn't as good and you don't feel the kick from the guns. Cool. Good for you. I'm not doing it. Second, magazine prices. What the heck? I stroll into multiple stores to find a Mad magazine. I've gotten into them lately. I'm reading some of the older ones. It's like Garbage Pail Kids, but in magazine form. They go hard to the basket. They insult people. They insult ideals. There's pretty creative drawings. It's like highlights for kids, or it's highlights for adults. I like it. And I wanted some more of it. I've been reading older issues. I was like, okay, well, before I buy a subscription, let's see what these new issues are about. Because just like Garbage Pail Kids, they started out really good in the past. Garbage Pail Kids was awesome. They went straight at the social issues I still hate today and made fun of them. It was awesome. But they've gotten, this is Garbage Pail Kids. I don't know about Mad Magazine yet. Garbage Pail Kids got soft. Now the artwork is still pretty creative. The quality isn't as good. They don't push the envelope as much. It's not as offensive. It's not as good. It's not as funny. And that's a disappointment. I wanted to see if Mad Magazine was going to follow that. $15. One magazine. $15. Suck off. No effing way. You bubble butt losers. You can suck my bare butt back and balls. $15 for a magazine that's maybe 50 pages? I'm sure a lot of work goes into it, but no frickin' way. You can suck it. That is absurd. I can get the old ones at my comic shop for $3-4 a piece. $5 max. And you're charging me $15? Suck it. No frickin' way. Unhinged. I almost lost it at Barnes & Noble. Ridiculous. Stupid. Next, I'm not calling it X. It is Twitter. It has always been Twitter. I don't care that some fancy rich boy came and bought it and changed the logo and made it the black and added a small little features. The things he added I think were inconsequential. I'm not calling it X. It's Twitter. I would rather the whole thing get destroyed and it fall apart and the whole company dissolve and everyone lose their jobs and me call that app X. I'm not doing it. Stop trying to make me do it. I already borderline want to get rid of the stupid thing. It's nothing but a waste of time and a bunch of freaking fools. Now that they are paying people to tweet, then it's just like freaking YouTube, which is borderline unbearable to begin with. All people want are making these stupid viral freaking videos so they can get paid. Get a job, most of you. Some people put out some good stuff. Most of you need to get a freaking job, a real effing job. I'm not calling it X. I'm not doing it. Stop it. And that's how it is. Okay, next topic. Am I disappointed with the PSVR2? I know maybe this has been somewhat of a negative episode for me, but it is what it is. I'm going to answer the question. And this is why I like having my platform to speak, because Alex, you could fart in a bag and give it to him for a birthday present. He'll open, actually, not a bag, let's say a balloon. You could fart in a balloon, give it to him. He'll think it's helium. He'll suck it in real good. He'll love it, and he'll know something. It's rank. As it's going down his airway, he'll be like, wow, that's righteous. That is nasty. And he'll still thank you because he is so easy to please. I wish I were his wife. Well, no, I don't. I wish I had... I think you know what I'm trying to say. He is so easy to please that his wife must be thrilled. She could put in probably minimum effort on everything, and he is elated. He's probably thrilled to have Alex, I don't know, as a boss, as a spouse, as a anything would be incredible because he's so easy to please. I'm not. I am realistic. I am, you know, I'm one of us. I'm one of the people, you know. Maybe I'm a bit more critical than I am purely unbiased, but I like that about me. Next, I am disappointed with this, okay? Not horribly, not so much that I regret buying it, but I have to say I am disappointed with my purchase. And the big reason is because simply of the games. I love the technology. I love the eye tracking. I love the haptics. I love the resolution. I don't even mind the cord now, to be honest. Is it uncomfortable? Yes. That is a big time bummer. That sucks. That's the very first disappointment. How do you go from having a console that is so comfortable to wear that I don't want to say feels good, but I was watching 2-hour-long movies in it, not thinking about a thing, watching them on the big screen, loving it. Now, I'm over here, can barely play a game for an hour because it's so uncomfortable. That is a major disappointment, something they should be ashamed about, because that is horrible. One of the very first things you got to do is make it wearable. It baffles my mind. Thankfully, the globular cluster helps tremendously. Light and day difference. So that definitely check it out. I think of everything I've tried, that is easily the best solution and truly has fixed my problem of comfort. 2, and really the only other thing, new games. We need some new games. We need some exclusive games. The PSVR2 library is like the NFC North. It's very top heavy. You have the heavy hitter, and then you've got a bunch of crap. That's just how it is. I'm going to be honest. There are 10 fantastic must-play PSVR2 titles. And then after that, there's a steep fall off. And there's nothing but average games. Borderline shovelware. Nonsense. The tech is there. The enthusiasm is there. It has everything it needs to succeed and be revolutionary, but the games, which for a gaming console is a big problem. It's like back in the day when they had all those, I don't know, Amiga 32s and Sega 32Xs and Game Gear and all these different consoles that were, kind of revolutionary at the time. Cool, but they didn't have the games. They didn't have any games for people to play. The freaking Virtual Boy, what is that, 13 games in the whole freaking library? Maybe there's 20. There's not many. Imagine buying that thing and then it's cool, but there's no games to play with it. You gotta have the games. And I know we just went through the whole library. There are a lot of games, but one, I know PSVR games are games, and just because they're ported, I shouldn't disrespect them. I shouldn't consider them not games. But I've already played Moss. I've already played these games that they were last generation games. I don't want to play them. We need new games. No, I'm sorry. No one at this point, unless you are brand new to virtual reality, is going to get excited that Beat Saber is coming to PSVR 2. Do we need it there? Sure. But no one is excited for it. You can't bring it to this console and laud and be like, there it is. Give us an award. Tell us how good we are. This is it. This is a system seller. It's not. We've all played it. You could play it for much cheaper using other devices and lose nothing. By playing it on the PSVR 2 compared to the PSVR, I borderline lose nothing. Or gain nothing, depending, I think, the way I worded it. You have to have the games. That is why I'm disappointed. They have set themselves up to succeed, but they haven't succeeded. Yes, I know Resident Evil 8 is awesome. I know Resident Evil 4 is coming out. I know there are a host of other games, Madison VR, and all these games that are coming out that are going to be great. But again, they're either ports, they're not new games, they're not IPs. The most obvious, logical freaking thing to do was to make an Astrobot game. It was one of the highest selling games for the PlayStation virtual reality console. It's your freaking mascot, and you won't make a game for it? His whole head, it looks like a PSVR. The whole design of the PSVR was like, how should we make this thing look? We have Astrobot. That looks like it could be a headset. Let's turn it into that. And they did, and now they don't even have a freaking game for it. That is why it's a disappointment. That is why, again, I'm not disappointed. I don't regret buying it, but I am disappointed. If they came out with a new version, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to buy it. I'm probably not even going to, until they back this up with new additional games. And that's the thing. They don't need to do anything else. We don't need extra peripheries. We don't. Would I love an aim controller? Absolutely, but we don't need it to be successful and be probably the best headset on the market, especially for the price. But you don't have the games. Have your studio make it? Maybe not. All the games you guys have made, speaking to Sony, have been absolute trash. So maybe don't let your teams make the games, but commission people to make the games. Hire people to make the games. Don't let it be the Firewall people. They suck. Don't let it be freaking Switchback VR. They suck. I mean, it's just disappointing that we're so close. It's like running a 100-meter dash, and you're leading, and you're real good. You're at the 85-meter mark, and then you just like stop. You slow down. You're tired. You're like, I did enough. No, you didn't. You didn't complete the job. You were so close. You didn't complete the job, and you lost. Now you're gonna get your butt eaten out. You're going to get spoon-fed. You're going to get rocked by the Quest 3 because it's cheap. I think it's cheaper. I don't know what the price of the Quest 3s is. Normally, Quests are cheaper. And then you get all these casual gamers who will play on it because it's cheaper and they're a little interested in it. You have the superior headset and technology. You have the games. You have the IPs. You have the talent. You have the studios to bring it up the rear, to win, to be like the premier headset, and yet you don't do it. My only thought is they don't think that virtual reality is the future. That's my only thought. And if that's the case, I mean, so be it. I've put my trust and my faith in things in the past that have failed. Heck, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. I get let down every freaking year. Got let down last Monday night. I have faith. They're good, and they freaking suck. It's happened. Maybe that's the way it is here. I don't know. But it seems like virtual reality is becoming more and more important and useful to the community, to the entire world. The advancements in medicine, in technology, in training, in education seem to be going that way. You would think that although this isn't for those specific things, they would leap on that. Whatever. Here's my thing. I hate that this has been somewhat negative, but it is what it is. I had to get it off my chest. I can't complain when Alex is here because he'll always be like, oh, but PSVR game is good. I like playing Cave Digger. I only have to pay $15 to port it. That's not bad. Freaking dude doesn't... horrible. Obviously I don't know what his finances are. I would love to see his bank statements. Probably nothing but absolute trash. Buying freaking Wendy's every day. Going in the back of Wendy's and buying used PS4s. That way he has a whole freaking stock of them. I can't imagine what this man wastes his money on, because he wastes his money on ports of PSVR games that he's already purchased and already not played to bring them to the PSVR2 to not play them again. It is incredible. I don't get it. Here's my hope entering into the last quarter, this, 2023 here. We need more games. Like I said, we have everything. We have everything to succeed but the games. I don't think Resident Evil 4 is coming out in 2023, but I hope I'm wrong. I would be thrilled if it came out near Christmas. It's a day one buy. Charge me $150. I don't care. I am buying it. And honestly, decent chance it's going to be better than Resident Evil 8. And that's going to be the new King of the Mountain. That should not necessarily be the standard, because obviously that's really high up, but we need those games that are unique, that are made for the PSVR2. We need ideally exclusives. That is what's going to make us feel like that is worth buying the PSVR2. And these people who are on the edge of, do I get a Quest for Christmas or do I get a PSVR2? Well, they're going to get PSVR2 because Resident Evil is on there, because Gran Turismo is on there, because Horizon is on there, because these other IPs that are Sony exclusives will be on there. Regardless, we have another segment coming up. Don't leave us. I do thank you for listening to Play PSVR2, the podcast. Don't, take this break. Shove a few bangers in your mouth. I give you credit. I'll allow you to shovel 1, 2, 5, 15 bangers in your mouth. Do it.
All right, and welcome to segment 2 of PlayPSVR2, the podcast, episode 134, the only PSVR2 podcast where you get to hear Adam's thoughts on all things unrelated to PSVR2. Now, I hope you enjoyed the roller coaster ride of Adam's favorite tweets and his thoughts about the Oculus Quest 3. But Adam, before you go, I noticed you glossed over the details of our interview for the co-CEO position at Sony. Obviously, listeners, we didn't get the job. But before we left the interview, Adam said he had a secret weapon up his sleeve, and he had me leave the room. Adam, do you care to tell us what your secret weapon happened to be?
I'm a chugger.
A chugger. So, wait, what exactly are you chugging, Adam?
Buttholes.
What was that?
Buttholes.
Okay, Adam, I don't want to read too much into it. Why did you feel that this was something necessary to demonstrate to their team? It seems kind of like a leap too far to go to for a job interview.
I like it.
So it was just something you did for your own gratification, your own sake. Well, I mean, I guess, how did it go? Why didn't this secret weapon seem to work for you?
The ball gets in the hole. I'm unable to get that liquid, and so I can't chug it.
Oh, okay. Well, wait, can you just, what were you chugging again?
Buttholes.
Okay, Adam, let me cut you off there and move on before we wreck our chances for some other co-CEO positions or something like that. I appreciate you going out on a limb for us, but I'm going to bring us back to PSVR2 focused content for our listeners' sake. And I guess to cleanse our palate, I'll get into my gamer juice this week. Now, as ironic as it is, it just so happens Adam, with the first segment, brought us home with a Jamaican accent that sounded like a German or something like that. I actually have Jamaican Cream. Jamaican Cream. It's a soft drink, S-O-F drink, soft drink. And it's got cool little Sylvester on it or something like that. Not sure what makes it Jamaican Cream. That's cream soda. It's good. Very sugary, but good. So I'll finish this. Unlike Adam, who seemed to always fail to finish his gamer juices. That's going to be certainly a B in the next episode we record. Just a quick note on Adam's segment. He went into the PlayStation Store to try to find horror games to play. Now, I will concede that there's not as many horror games as there were at the end of the PSVR 1 life cycle. Maybe a bit less than we expected. Of course, we wanted Phasmophobia to come out earlier. That's been delayed because the developers had a fire in their complex. That should be coming out here by the end, by Halloween week, is I think what they pushed it back to. That was supposed to be here in August. We also have Madison VR coming really soon. It's different things I'm seeing. Some, GameStop says it's coming out December 5th, but the developers have said it's coming out the week of Halloween, so we're not sure. GameStop might just be waiting for a physical release, which of course is going to be a bit slower to come out than a digital release they could just kind of throw out there. But one that Adam just jumped over is Propagation Paradise Hotel, which I haven't played. I haven't really seen much about it, but the buzz that I've seen about it, the reading I've done on it, is that it's kind of like a love letter to Resident Evil 1, and it's apparently a great VR game for PSVR. And it also apparently, is well worth the asking price of $15. So this is just kind of checks all the boxes that Adam has right there. It's a cheap game. It's new. It's PSVR2, and it's scary. And Adam, of course, won't play it because it's $15. You won't play without a discount. It'll drop down to $9 or it'll drop down to $12. He'll say, no, it's got to be below $9. Once it hits that, he'll just say it's too old. Nobody wants to play that. But I just want to say these are games that Adam just failed to mention. And of course, we have Resident Evil 8 coming. That's going to be next year. But yeah, just big surprise. Going through the list of the PlayStation Store, Adam won't buy something. That's pretty disappointing. The other thing I want to mention, of course, is that Adam went to one of the scariest games of PSVR2, Oregon Quarter, like the Silent Hill for PSVR2. And he just kind of said, I don't know. And he moved on like it didn't exist. Again, Adam just won't buy these games. He just won't buy anything. That's why we're not seeing it. Other thing, Adam said he wishes he was my wife. He says that I'm easy to please. Just want to say, Adam, I'm easy to please. And that's why you're still on my show, my podcast, Adam. That's right. The host closes it. But enough of the internal drama there. We're going to go ahead and get into some discussion for some new stuff. This isn't really news per se. Adam and I talked about it last episode about Project Wingman being announced. I was excited because the full game is playable in VR on PC. Then right before it came out, it was also just kind of released the day after we had our discussion with no indication it was coming out. Everyone was just surprised with it. But the developers released Project Wingman for PS5, PSVR2 support. And then what everybody thought was going to be the full game, they updated the description to say, oh, and we're going to have these 6 new VR missions. And then the game actually comes out, and the things I'm hearing is it looks like a PlayStation 1 game. The 6 levels are short. The game's like $30, $40, something like that. It's just really disappointing. I mean, there's a good chance I'm going to get it. If not at full price, then soon if there's a discount, just because I like Ace Combat. I'd probably be really happy with the flat game in and of itself. I don't know, 6 missions is better than 3. We got an Ace Combat 7, but damn it. I don't know why the developers would lead us down that direction if they weren't planning on it. Totally shot in the dark. I think that maybe what's happening here is that the developers are making a game, and development is expensive because you're keeping that business running the entire time and you have nothing gaining income from it. I'm wondering if a lot of times we see this kind of stuff happen, and developers, they had this design of a full game, and then they start running out of money and they realize, let's just get, a minimal viable product out there. And they just say, yep, 6 missions, tack it onto the flat game, release it, and we'll start making some money. And then it's kind of like a half-cooked thing, right? The graphics aren't great. It's obviously not optimized for the PlayStation 5 in the way you would expect it to be. And then they don't get the money, the return that they would want, that might lead them to flesh out the rest of the game, which sucks, right? I honestly don't know what the move here would be to fix something like this. I certainly don't think we're going to see like a glow up in the vein that we saw with something like No Man's Sky. Maybe they'll get enough money from the PC version, or dribbles of money from the PS5 players playing it in flat to kind of refinance and get the rest of that PSVR2 content in there. Or maybe this is just what we get, which again sucks. We don't have a really good flight sim. Ultra Wings 2, we know it's coming. We have no idea when. I don't even think it's out on the Quest. So I guess, the game's good and it's finished. I want something soon, man. I want to fly around in an airplane in VR. But that's a total bummer. Like I said, I'll probably still get it and play it in some capacity. I can do a full review then. But seems like there's bigger fish to fry, and other games I'm looking forward to in the near future. One game, namely, is Arizona Sunshine 2. So they finally had people do previews of this. Of course, I wasn't invited. I was too busy interviewing for the CEO spot at Sony. But there's surprisingly a lot of positive feedback that's kind of getting me hyped up for the game. I mean, the first game, when it came out on PSVR 1, it was already pretty old. So the game design was pretty old. The graphics weren't anything great, but it was it was just kind of a fun game, a little bit basic, but pretty fun. My hope is that these developers, I think it's Vertigo Games, they got a lot of good stuff under their belt now. I hope they take the game design of Arizona Sunshine 1 and really flesh it out, turn it into a full game. And since this is, that was maybe their biggest title. They're now revisiting their biggest title with all the money and experience they've built up from other games. So it kind of makes sense that, the feedback's good. The game will seem probably like a totally different game, like in a good way. But the biggest thing getting me hyped, and maybe they have me a lot of money, and it does show that they're putting a lot of eggs in this basket, is that they hired, to me, the great Rob Yescombe. Probably mispronouncing his name. He was a writer for the Time Splitters team, for Theoretical Design, wrote funny stories, good stories on that front. He also wrote the story for Farpoint, which I know some people kind of bag on as being a bit average. I thought it was a pretty clever story. I really enjoyed it. He also wrote the story for The Invisible Hours, that VR game, murder mystery type game. Really clever gameplay design, but the story, the way that everything's flowed together and reached a resolution, that was impressive and really enjoyable. But the big thing is that they've obviously put money to hire a writer from outside to really make this a better game. And that makes me think that they're probably putting similar effort into just the rest of the game design. So I'm really hyped for Arizona Sunshine 2. I haven't seen footage. I'm sure that's been posted here. The next thing I want to mention is Budget Cuts Ultimate Nightmare Update. Now, I only mentioned this because Adam said there wasn't any scary games coming out. Budget Cuts Ultimate, like I said, it's not a bad game. It's not great because it is kind of an old game. It's a good amount of content, and the gameplay that's there is fun. But this Nightmare Update, based on the trailer, it looks like a survival horror type game where that late game robot that's ironically named Adam chases you around, and that was a very scary part of the game in the late game. So a new mode designed around that sounds absolutely horrifying. They do have kind of a roguelike arcade mode in the game. Maybe it's not too roguelike, but an arcade mode in the game. And so if they kind of have a quick hit version, if this is roguelike, procedural maps or something like that, that would be a really, really fun game. Also a really terrifying game, not spooky like Halloween, but just a game that's going to get you extremely nervous and scared. So look out for that. Looks like a free update. And it's bringing more value to Budget Cuts, which I didn't expect to see. That's already a pretty polished and good game. So yeah, I do like that we're seeing a lot of PSVR2 games get continuous updates. Light Brigade just got an update. Of course, Synth Riders and Beat Saber and Drums Rock are getting updates too. And they're really late in the game. So either they're selling enough units of these games to keep continuous development going, or they just had it planned out and they just kind of wanted to button it up, hoping it would just kind of push a little bit over the edge. But that to me says that this continuous support means there's obviously enough users to justify that continuous support, which means there's obviously enough PSVR2 users to have such a situation. So it's pretty cool that we're seeing that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to trying that Budget Cuts Ultimate Nightmare update probably somewhere around Halloween. But the thing I wanted to talk today about is the demos that dropped. So we got two new demos. C Smash as a demo worked great. That sold us on C Smash as an idea and led to a purchase, of course, for me. And Adam only played it because he got it for free. But we're not seeing too many demos, and we know there's kind of a trade-off of demos, right? You can play a demo and decide you just don't like the game. Play a demo if you like you get enough of that experience. But it's really good when you get a demo and you finish it and you're left wanting more, which for the two demos I'll talk about today, that happened for both. Kind of spoiler warning there. The first one I want to talk about is Ghost Signal, a Signalis game. So this is a spin-off VR game from the known space RTS game Signalis. And this you are in like this overworld type view, almost like Demio, but in space in terms of the isometric view. And you control a ship. You have a little ship, and you have to survive kind of encounters. So the way this works is it is a roguelike. You kind of have this node-based encounter system, and you travel to a place, and you can land there. There could be enemies, ships coming at you, and the way you control it is your ship will automatically aim. You can point to the enemy you want to hit, and then you hit left on the analog stick. That'll change to your bullets. Hit right on the analog stick. That'll change to your laser, which does less damage but can shoot longer. Or you can hit up and go to your missiles, which has very limited supply, but kind of works to knock out the big guys. And you do most of that while being stationary. However, the movement is controlled by hitting X, and then you can select some radial distance away from your spaceship to indicate where it's going to go. Time slows down a little bit, so you can kind of think about where you want to move, but what you can do is then your ship will start moving while you can focus on shooting the enemies while it's moving. And what this does is it kind of creates this real-time strategy, right? Where you're plotting with one half of your brain, where's my ship going to move, and then you're working overtime on the other half of your brain trying to shoot at the appropriate enemies. Make sure that you're like using lasers to take down their shields and using bullets to take down their hull, and it gets kind of complex fast, which is really fun. It's a roguelike, which means the levels are going to be different-ish every time you make a run, but that also means you get upgrades, and the upgrades change depending on what happens, what you pick up in your runs. I saw a couple of different encounters. Of course, you go to a node and you hit like a shop and you get items, or you go to a node and you see a space animal. called it a space whale, but it looked like a giant squid. That was cool. You scan it, and I think, sometimes it might be hostile, sometimes it might be good and give you like a boost or a bonus or something like that. I just ran into some random encounters and fought enemies. I ultimately died. I didn't finish my run, which is probably by design considering it's a roguelike. I did see some cool things in the options looking around in the demo, things that were locked behind that paywall. One was that there is something where you can encounter other players, and I'm assuming since it's a roguelike, this is kind of that Demon Souls or Light Brigade type thing where like you find the crashed wreckage of somebody else who played a run like this, and you can kind of pick up boost from it, which is great. I love to see that kind of stuff because it just kind of automatically, it's this weird kind of asymmetrical multiplayer that exists that just makes things a bit eerier or a bit more friendly, depending on what happens. You can, of course, turn that off and just have it populated with NPCs, but I really like the idea of pulling up on Adam's busted-ass ship and getting some stuff off of his cargo and carcass. Needless to say, though, this game was really fun. The encounters are pretty small, like imagine like Demio, but in like 3D space orb environments. But it worked really well. The controls are great. The visuals are nothing breathtaking necessarily, but they're good. They look good, and the game's clean, and it plays well. I'm really excited to play it. It's not terribly expensive right now, and it's something that we don't see too much of in the VR space. A lot of first-person shooter horror stuff going on, a little bit of platforming, but it seems rare to see fun games like this. If you've ever played like FTL, that famous game, this is a lot like that, except that's less like management and more actual controlling stuff, which I appreciate. So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this. I'm really excited about it. It was a nice surprise to suddenly just pop up out of nowhere, which is what happens with PSVR2 games. So yeah. A brilliant move on their part. They released a demo after the game's kind of launched, got a good burst of sales, and maybe it dies off after time. Then release a demo and catch all the laggards like me who thought about the game, wanted to get the game, forgot to get the game, and then forgot about the game. Now the demo's out. I have no reason not to try it, and so I tried it just a little bit before recording this, and it left a really good impression. The voice acting seems good, so that means the story is going to be at least engaging in that capacity. It was really beautiful from what I saw. So in the demo, basically, all you do is you go through a tutorial. You can run, you can jump. They got all the controls to do smooth turning, vignettes, things like that. What is interesting is the jumping feels good, but there's climbing. And I know we get a lot of climbing in Call of the Mountain, but this climbing felt really nice, and it didn't feel kind of exhausting or stressful, and it felt less linear than what we saw in something like Call of the Mountain, which I thought was great. We also have swimming. And this is, of course, really awkward. I played sitting down, although it's probably better played standing. To swim, you have to move your hands like you're swimming, and it looks at where the palms of your hand are, and it moves you in that direction. So I was able to, swim doing a breaststroke. I also was able to swim doing a doggy paddle. The one thing is, if your palms are pointing down while you're doing a doggy paddle, it will slowly work your way up to the top. But I was encountering some enemy, trying to get away quickly. I did like a whole backstroke like that, and then the doggy paddle up to the water, and it felt really natural and good. The clambering seems to be an important part, considering the demo is basically all clambering up until you get a gun and you shoot a squid and you get some tentacles. So you're like crafting stuff on the fly, which is nice. And then right when you finally get to a point where things are getting interesting, of course, it says, hey, play the demo. The shooting felt good. Inventory system seemed pretty cool. Whatever the last thing I think you used over your shoulder, that's what you pull out, but you can tap your wrist and you get an inventory right there, and you can grab that, and that'll be the thing that's over your shoulder. That was really cool. I would have liked to see the enemy AI in the demo, but it doesn't seem like there was any, which I heard was one of the downfalls of the game. But in VR, unfortunately, if the enemy AI is too good, we're mostly not equipped to handle that kind of stuff. We all got used to being good at mouse look when first-person shooters started having their enemies strafe left and right. That didn't happen in games like, Doom so much. Didn't happen in games like GoldenEye, but we loved those anyways. And so what I'm saying is that enemy AI might not be that important in a first-person shooter in VR, because we're probably not that experienced in terms of actual, combat with guns and stuff like that. And it can still feel satisfying, much like Farpoint again. That game didn't have the best AI necessarily, but it was fun. The shootouts were fun. They felt good. Same thing with Sierra Squad, Crossfire Sierra Squad. Stupid AI, dumb, as evidenced by Raul getting taken down all the time. But the game's fun as hell, and they just make up for it by just having appropriate level of challenge. So if Hubris has that kind of AI that people were complaining about, I'm fine with it. Everything else looked great. So yeah, I'll probably bite the bullet and play that too, because that was really fun. So that's my quick impressions. It's been a while since we've done a full review, but now I've got some new games to play. Adam's got some new games to play, so we'll probably start hitting some reviews here soon. But with that, let's move on to the sales. Now, this is great, right? This is the sales segment. There's no Adam, so I get to be the arbiter, the one who decides what is going to be purchased by the listener. So let me pull up the sales over here. A lot of sales going on. I think these sales expire in like 2 weeks. It's a long sale, a fall sale, and I love it. So let's just go through this. I got this PS prices. Shout out to those guys. Great stuff here. I can use this all day. Thumper for $4.99. Of course, you get that if you don't have it. Everybody should play Thumper. It's really fun. Garden of the Sea. I loved it. It's only $10 if you have PS Plus. $12.49. Otherwise, still a great deal. It's normally $25. Excellent game, especially at that price. Star Tenders Intergalactic Bartending. Never played it. Don't have a strong desire to play it, but I've heard a couple of people like it. It's kind of fun. Probably a lot like that one level of Job Simulator. $7.49 if you're PS Plus. That's pretty cheap. That's right on the cusp of me wanting to get it, but I think I got plenty to play already. Jurassic Park. I think it's Aftermath. It's blocked. Yeah, Jurassic World Aftermath for $14.99. I have not heard good things about the game. A couple of people really like it. Maybe if you really like Jurassic Park, you'll like it. $14.99 is way cheaper than the default price of $29.99. So yeah, let's go with it. Demio, $21.99 for PS Plus members. It's, to me, it's one of those games that you probably have. If you're interested in it at all, you probably already have it. Really fun game. If you weren't interested because of the price, well, heck, it was $40. It's now $21. I say get it. It's really fun, especially if you have multiplayer, but even the solo gameplay is really good. Ragna Rock, it is $14.99. I have Drums Rock. I haven't explored this too much. I think this game has a demo. Adam played it. He really liked it. So I don't know. $14.99 is not too bad. I'll probably wait for it to be $9 before I take the plunge, just because I already have Drums Rock. I only have enough time in my life for so many drumming games. Moss is on sale, $11.99. If you've not played Moss, you probably just need to get the bundle. Brain Beats, $8.69. Interested? It looks like a $5 game to me, like a game I'll try for $5, and I'll feel really bad if I like it and think that it's worth $10. Maybe $8.69 is a perfect price then. It's right there in the middle. Next game is Townsman VR, $24.79. Heard it was buggy. Could be thinking of the wrong game. Not terribly interested in this. These games stress me out a lot, so I don't know. Last Clockwinder, $16.24. Yeah, you should get it. It's awesome. It's great. Sea Smash, $19.49. Again, awesome game. They're updating it. I don't know if the demo is still live, but it's a great game. Yeah, $20 is a great price for it. Cosmo Dread, $9.74. I want to do this now. It looks like a knockoff of Persistence. And after Adam's horrible reviewing of these types of games, he doesn't like roguelikes. I do. So I'd probably find some there to enjoy. Synth Riders for $16.99. Remastered edition. Great game. I like it better than Beat Saber. Yeah. Drums Rock, $13.99. We did have some free DLC. I'm sure there's a combo in there that has all the DLC because there is some new stuff that has come out. But my big complaint was that it might have been a bit too easy, and they released a hardcore mode, which I haven't tried yet, but that fixes my complaint, I guess. Yeah, really fun if you liked rock band drumming. It works surprisingly well. So $13.99 is a great price for it. Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Tourist Edition, $34.99. Why the hell? Why is it that expensive still? This game's been out for so long. This is just a pretty version of it. I get it takes a lot of effort and money or something, but shoot, I don't know. It sucks. That's a high price. It should be $20 by now. Pixel Rip 1978, $17.49. I don't know, man. That game's pretty short. It wasn't my favorite one of the Pixel Ripped, although I just played 2 of them. The 1995 got a free upgrade though, so I'll be trying that out soon. But it was good. Like, these games are really fun as you're playing them, and then when you're done, you just don't feel like coming back. if you want to play them all, maybe this is the best way to get in, but I really hope they release a bundle at some point. Let's see. 2MD VR Football Unleashed All-Stars 1049. Heard this game was busted. I don't know much about it. I don't want to play it, so I'll say no. Hubris 2099. Yeah, locking in that deal. I want that. Switchback VR 2799. I hear it's great now. I honestly have no idea how they would have made it great by fixing things that seemed that were inherent in the game design. I already have it. Maybe I should try again and give an honest re-review. If you thought Rush of the Blood was like an 8 out of 10 and you want to play a 5 out of 10 sequel, go for it. It's not as bad as, forgive me, Firewall Ultra. It's not as bad as something like that. It just is disappointing, I think, based on Rush of the Blood. But hey, $27.99 is, a good bit cheaper than the $39.99 normal. So maybe take the plunge. They've upgraded it and stuff. Runner for $10.49. Yeah, really good game, obviously. Puzzling Places, $13.99. That's it. I'm going to get it. My wife asked to play a VR game recently, and I think I'm just going to have to get it for her for that. Yeah, good price. Zenith, $20.99. They're still working on this game, making it do cool stuff, good stuff. I think they have some DLC coming out for it soon. I just don't have – I can't play MMOs, man. And there's apparently a lot of kids. What little I played was fun. I just felt like I was going to have to spend way too much time to get to the point that I would want to get to really enjoy an MMO. But if you're looking for an MMO, I don't think it's bad necessarily. Then again, I don't know what people like about MMOs. So it's rough to give an honest opinion there. What the bat? I bought this a while ago for like $14.99. Haven't touched it yet, but I love the WarioWare type gameplay design, like mini games where your hands are bats. Sounds good. Knock, $14.99. I don't want to play it. Adam didn't like it either. But people say it's great. Transformers Beyond Reality 1874. Shoot, this was surprisingly fun. Very simple on-rail shooter, but it's fun watching the Transformers do their thing. You'll run through it once and probably don't want to play it again. If you got kids, yeah. If you bought it on a PSVR1, it was a free upgrade. So yeah, not the worst thing. Moss Book 2, $14.99. Now, if this should be a $25 combo. That's the deal. But if you've already played Moss 1, maybe you played it on PSVR1, you need to play Moss Book 2. $14 is good. It's about 3 or 4 hours of some of the best VR gameplay you can get. Kayak Mirage VR, $18.39. Short game, simple concept. Some people love it, some people hate it. I have no idea. Pistol Whip, $23.99. I haven't touched this one either. I'm bad, guys. But everyone else seems to think this is amazing. So I don't know. Not a huge discount. It's been out for a while. Let's go cheaper, guys. Until You Fall, $19.99. B-holes. Again, this game, full price release. No upgrade path. $15 and we'll talk. It's $19.99 currently. When you're at 15, I might give you the thumbs up. Synapse, $27.99. Yeah, definitely. Should have bought it at $34.99. It's, in my mind, maybe the best game on PSVR2 that's not Gran Turismo or Resident Evil, right? It's awesome. Foglands looks great. I'm an idiot. I pre-ordered it. I'm going to get burnt by this stuff. The combination of Sony backing it and just the footage I've seen of it, it just looks like a real winner. And I need a real winner right about now. And let's see. I think that's it for the sales, guys. I honestly thought there was a lot more, but I gave you some good nuggets. I discovered some good stuff. I'm going to play some of these games. But yeah, that is it. So thank you for joining us for a disjointed episode of Play PSVR2, the podcast. I hope you liked it as much as Adam apparently likes chugging.
I'm a chugger.
If you like our show as much as Adam likes his buttholes,
I like it.
Then please leave us a review on iTunes or leave us a comment on YouTube or just straight up send us an email. We are contact@playpsvr.com. And remember, this upcoming Halloween, if your mouth is dry from all that candy, be sure to heed Adam's advice.
The ball gets in the hole. I'm unable to get that liquid, and so I can't chug it.
So get your balls out of the hole and get with this audio liquid and keep listening to us. Subscribe, 5 stars on iTunes. And with that, I am Alex for Adam. And this has been Play PSVR2, the podcast, where virtual reality is our reality.
Blammo!